Just sending out the calls as normal. We're going to be in a bit of a hurry today. I have a short Christmas party I'm going to be going to, a little gift exchange. Probably start getting a little bit more judicious on these. All right. Let's get into position here. Come on, get off. Oi, get off that now. Get. I will try to avoid inflicting my horrible Cockney impression on anyone today. Although it's going to be difficult considering what we got in store. We got some pre-order on the made-to-order for Space Marines that are coming in. We don't need to look. That's not anything new, so we already knew we were getting some made-to-orders coming in. All right, we're going to try to get this real quick, as I said. Listen here, you audible grots. Here comes the orcs for the tactical brigade for today's Grotmas calendar detachment. The orcs of the Blood Axe clan seek to apply their own brand of tactics to every engagement. The most cunning of commanders have adopted their strategies of their species into a unique brand of clandestine warfare that, while comparatively simplistic, remains brutally effective. Bringing a new level of cunning to orc warfare, the Listen Here rule lets orc players issue tactics through their war boss and mech units. Through judicious bellowing and occasional cracking of a few heads, these leaders can enhance their troops' sneaking prowess, remind them to aim before shooting, and, when push comes to shove, really get stuck in. Entirely in keeping with Blood Axe preferences for unconventional warfare, the Tactical Brigade grants Storm Boys units battle line. This focus on fringe elements of Orky culture continues into the enhancements and stratagems with Mech Captain. Orc players can add a big mech to their flash kits, so these gun-crazy show-offs can reroll their hit rolls. While dead sneaky, they may return commandos and Storm Boys back into strategic reserves to strike from unexpected directions later. While you're on the downloads page, why not also check out all the new datasheets for Tank Busters and Breaker Boys? These orcs appear first in Kill Team Brutal and Cunning box and will be getting their own releases soon. The Tank Buster datasheet replaces the one in Codex Orcs. The Astra Militatum can only dream of pulling off such battlefield discipline. but we'll put them through their paces in tomorrow's Grotmas detachment. So guard is tomorrow. All right. Now, I have to find it. Orcs. Orcs. Tactical Brigade. While we're here, let's find our new Tank Buster friends. Here's the Breaker Boys. And here's the Tank Busters. All right. Come on. Why are you not zooming in? There's a cord in the way, that's why. Yeah, we can zoom in one more time here. All right. Tank Busters. All right. So they've got a pretty typical orc stat line. They got a rocket launcher, which is D3 attacks, hitting on 5s at strength 9, AP -2, damage 3. So, not the best tank busting in all honesty. But special rules can help with that. We'll definitely put a hurting on any kind of medium or heavy infantry, though. They also get a rocket pistol because nothing's stopping a tank buster from firing a rocket in close combat. Same stats, just only one attack. They got the chopper. They've got a close combat weapon. And they got a smash hammer, which is anti-monster 4+, anti-vehicle 4+, but is otherwise 2 attacks, hitting on 3s at strength 6, AP -2, damage 3. You're probably going to take as many as you can, and this is 6 models for 120 points. So, not bad there, I'm pretty sure. That sounds reasonable to me right now. Let's take a look at their, but just off of these stats, I think that sounds reasonable. So their rules are probably going to be okay. Tank Hunters. Each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack that targets a monster or vehicle unit, add 1 to the hit roll and 1 to the wound roll. So, worst comes to worst, they're always going to be wounding on 4s. And they're hitting on 4s as well. So, still not the most reliable, but if you got 6 of them lining up shots, you know, that's average 2 shots apiece. That's 12 shots. That's 6 shots hitting. 3 shots wounding. The AP is where things are really going to make the difference. You're kind of probably looking at only 1 shot getting through at the end and doing 3 damage, but presumably that's not the only damage you're dealing to that vehicle. Pardon me. Bomb Squigs. Twice per battle. After this unit ends a normal move, you can select 1 enemy unit within 12 inches. Lunch isn't sitting well. And roll 1d6. On a 2+, that enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. And that's just good all around mortal wounds. Plus, of course, they do have grenades. Designer's note, place 2 Bomb Squig tokens. Yep, and the Bomb Squigs are awesome. Awesome tokens. And we got the warrior ability, the Pulsar Rocket. Once per battle, when the bearer's unit is selected to shoot in your shooting phase, the bearer can use its Pulsar Rocket. If it does, until the end of the phase, improve the strength and armor penetration characteristics of ranged weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit by 1. Okay, that might actually kill a tank. Because AP -3, that's going to mean a lot more of those shots are getting through. All right. So you got 1 Nob and 5 Tank Busters. The Nob has 2 rocket pistols and a chopper. The Tank Busters are equipped with rocket launchers and close combat weapon. If you can lead looters, you can lead Tank Busters. I don't have the Codex Orcs to look through right at the moment, so we're not going to take a look and see what that could potentially do for this. 1 Boss Nob's rocket pistol can be replaced with a Smash Hammer, so you can have the Boss Nob all melee. 1 Tank Buster can be equipped with one of the following: 1 Pulse Rocket, 1 additional rocket launcher. So you can either have a single big rocket that you get to use once, or you can have a single Tank Buster, double barreling it, basically. Which is so very orky. I absolutely love the idea that you got an orc with 2 rocket launchers. It's like, ah! All right, next. Breaker Boys. Again, typical orc stat line. They also have a rocket pistol, so they can do some decent damage to heavy infantry, even at range. They have a chopper. They have Knuckle Busters, which are anti-arm monster 4+, anti-vehicle 4+, and twin linked. So you get to re-roll that wound roll. They are strength 5 -1 damage though, so that's gonna kind of stifle the damage output. But they are 5 attacks. Your 5 attacks was that. You've got a Smash Hammer like before, so that's 2 attacks, 6 -2, 3. And then you've got the Tank Hammer, which is the same as a Smash Hammer, except it's got dev wounds natively and it's hazardous. All right. We've got Trophy Hunters. Each time this unit declares a charge, you can re-roll the charge roll. Okay, re-roll charges is always good. This is not like we're re-rolling on a deep strike either. We're probably going to be advanced in charging using the WA, so... And I have read the balanced data slate now. I haven't gotten to the MFN, but I've read the balanced data slate, so I'm very much aware that the WA got a nice glow up. This unit also has Bomb Squigs. And those do the same thing, so nothing really helping to make sure you're getting consistent as far as your damage, but you are going to be in melee where orcs are much better off. I honestly don't know why these are more expensive than Tank Busters are, though. Like, I guess they've got more anti-vehicle weapons that they're using, but... Okay, and if any character can lead boys, they can lead Breaker Boys. Okay, well that's going to be that's going to help a lot. Boss Nob Smash Hammer can be replaced with a rocket pistol. Okay. The one Breaker Boy Smash Hammer can be replaced with 1 Knuckle Busters. So if you want to go for the more anti-infantry roll, you can totally do that. And 1 Breaker Boy Smash Hammer can be replaced with 1 Tank Hammer, which you're almost always going to do. And yeah, that boy's going to die, but he's probably going to do some damage in the meantime. All right. So those are our new orc models. The Tactical Brigade. Listen here. Blood Axe leaders bellow actual orders to the lads under their command. I love the way they phrase that. It's like, okay, you're used to seeing an orc boss ordering their underlings around. Here's an orc boss that is actually ordering their underlings around. Once per battle round in your command phase or after being set up on the battlefield in your movement phase, each boss Snickrot, mech, and war boss model in your army can issue tactics abilities. To do so, select one or two of the tactics abilities below and select one friendly orc unit from 6 inches. So 1 or 2, not just 1, but 1 or 2. And select one friendly orc unit within 6 inches of that model to issue them to. If you select 2 tactics, that model must take a leadership test. If failed, the selected unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. They literally are thinking so hard trying to figure out what you're ordering them to do, their brains explode. Thinking, that most dangerous of abilities, that most dangerous of pastimes. Until the start of your next command phase, the selected unit is affected by the selected tactics. A unit cannot have tactics issued to it in this way more than once per battle round. Tactics abilities cannot be issued to battle-shocked units, and if a unit affected by tactics becomes battle-shocked, all tactics cease to affect that unit while it is battle-shocked. All right, get stuck in. You can reroll charges. Get on with it. Add 1 to strength characteristics of melee weapons equipped by models in the unit. Sneaky stalking. Infantry and mounted models, excluding meganobs in this unit, have the stealth ability. Oh, wow, pardon me. And each time a ranged attack targets this unit, those models have the benefit of cover against that attack. And shoot-a-drills. Each time an infantry or mounted model in this unit makes a ranged attack, add 1 to the hit roll. And Storm Boys from your army gain the battle line keyword. So you've basically got guard orders, a different set of guard orders, but guard orders nonetheless. You can issue 2 of these, so you can do reroll charges and at +1 to hit. But you just got to pass your leadership tests. Even then, it's like, it's not that you lose the orders. It's just that some of the orcs get confused and die from what they're trying to follow them. All right, squad leader, 15 points. An exemplar of the Blood Axe Devious Art, this war boss leads mobs of cutting commandos to battle. War boss model only during the declare battle formation step. The bearer can be attached to commandos unit. While leading a commandos unit, it has the infiltrators and stealth abilities. So that's excellent. And this is, in my opinion, much better than what I got from my Neurotimes. It's a little bit more expensive, but I mean, you're also guaranteeing that the entire unit still has infiltrators and stealth. Mech Captain, 35 points. While Flash Kits hate discipline of any sort, particularly militant mechs can keep them in line with a combination of brutal discipline and promise of shiny gubbins. Big mech in mega armor, or big mech with shock attack on model only. During the declare battle formation step, the bearer can be attached to Flash Kits unit. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes a ranged attack, you can re-roll the hit roll. Reroll hits on Flash Kits is good. Flash Kits are already good, so giving them reroll hits is fantastic. Mork's Cunnin, 15 points. Possessed of an exceptionally keen mind, for an orc at least, this botch matches wits with his opponents, holding his lads back until an opportune moment arrive. Pick an orc character. After both players have deployed their army, select up to 3 orc units from the army and redeploy them. When doing so, you can set, so it's the generic redeploy, and it's 15 points, which is what most of those cost. Gob Boomer, 10 points. Cobbled together from the remains of a Humi Voxcaster, this device amplifies this orc's already booming voice, carrying their bellowing orders further. You can choose a war boss or a mech. Each time the bearer issues tactics, it can do so to a friendly orc infantry or orcs mounted unit within 18 inches instead of 6 inches. And at 10 points, you're always taking this in this detachment. So we're off to a good start. You got 2 enhancements to give you a little bit more flexibility with leaders, which is kind of cool. Again, like, these are more expensive than what the Neurotyrant enhancement was, but this one, again, to make sure you don't break infiltration and stealth. And then this one is granting reroll hits. And it's granting reroll hits to a good unit. So, yeah. And I mean, that isn't if you're attached to flash kits either. Like, you're going to, like, I'd assume if you're doing this, you're attaching to flash kits and giving your flash kits reroll hits. But in theory, you could do this to another unit. I think mechs, for example, can attach to Ludas, so they can attach to the new tank busters. All right, that's ours. 1 CP strategic ploy stratagem. A few orcs, particularly those of the Blood X clan, can resist their destructive urges long enough to prioritize the seizing of objectives. You can pick an orc unit from your army that is within engagement range of one or more enemy units. Until the start of the next command phase, add 1 to the OC characteristic of models in your unit. And it doesn't get canceled out by Battle Shock. So they're not being consistent with that. I'd like to see all of these rules get canceled out by Battle Shock. Because again, the way it works, the way modifiers work in this game, Battle Shock reduces your OC to 0, then you add the bonuses in. So this means that a Battle Shocked Orc unit can still control an objective. And I'd like to see that change. I think Battle Shock needs to be strengthened a little bit. Crunch and Descent. Was their rocket packs... 1 CP battle tactic was their rocket packs at full throttle. Storm Boys plummet to smash into their foes with a bone-crushing force. Use in your charge phase just after a Storm Boys unit for your army ends a charge move. Select one enemy unit within engagement range of your unit, then roll a d6 for each model in your unit that is within engagement range of that enemy unit. For a 4+, that enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound to a maximum of 6 mortal wounds. So you're going to be doing 5 most of the time, and that's providing you get everybody into engagement range. But still, 1 CP for a decent number of mortal wounds is always a good move. Fight Proper. 1 CP battle tactics. Some deviant blood axes go so far as to practice hand-to-hand combat, tailoring fighting styles to specific types of enemies. 1 orc infantry or orcs mounted unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Select the sustain hits 1 or lethal hits ability. Until the end of phase, melee weapons equipped by models in your unit have that ability. Again, 1 CP for either of those buffs is fantastic, and the fact that you get to choose between the 2 of them, depending on situation, is great. On to the next. 1 CP for strategic ploy stratagem. Seeing little value in pursuing fleeing foes, Blood X mobs turn their attention towards the next fight or press towards whatever cache of shiny gubbins the boss desires. Use during your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy unit falls back. 1 orc unit from your army that was within engagement range of that enemy unit at the start of the phase. Your unit can make a normal move of up to 6 inches. So you can't, it's not a keep them trapped in combat. But if one of your opponents falls back, you can either try to pursue them and stay in their face, essentially. Now, granted, you're going to be what they're going to shoot at if they got fall back and shoot, or what the opponent shoot. But more than likely, what you're going to use this for is your unit is no longer being protected by being in combat. So you are going to try to use that 6 inches to get out of line of sight and stop your opponent from shooting at the unit that just got abandoned. So, Tactical Retreat. 1 CP strategic ploy. Blood Axes feel no shame in retreating from a fight, particularly if the boss wants someone else duffed up. Using your movement phase just after an orc unit from your army falls back, you pick that orc's unit. Until the end of your turn, your unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it falls back. I was expecting this to be fall back and charge, but it's both. That's great. All right, Dead Sneaky. One CP strategic ploy stratagem. Utilizing camouflage, cover, or misdirection, these orcs slip away to prepare their next ambush, leaving their foes staring at thin air. Use at the end of your opponent's fight phase 1 commandos or Storm Boys unit from your army that is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units. Remove your unit from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. And I'm pretty sure Storm Boys can deep strike, so yay. I don't think commandos can though. But either way, it's being able to uppy downy is good. Uppy downy is a good rule. So 1 CP uppy downy. This is good. This is good. These orders are good buffs. I mean, benefit of cover is mad, but you got stealth. And the fact you can pick 2 of them and maybe just do a little bit of damage to your orcs is fine. Like, that's really not a drawback. The units that can use it, mechs are good, war bosses are good, boss Snickrot is good. Yeah. So you've got a really good detachment rule. The enhancements, again, you got 2 of them that are mostly about adding flexibility to what you can lead. But reroll hits on flash kits is good. Like, this is just flat good. You know, getting a leader stuck in with some commandos is good. Redeploy is still good, and you know, a cheap way to get extra range on your, like, that's just all good. And then the stratagem section is fantastic. You got a mortal wounds bomb. You've got an occasional, like, keep in your pocket just in case to make sure you're the one controlling an objective. You've got a 1 CP for sustained hits 1 or lethal hits. You've got a reactive move that allows you to protect a unit that just got abandoned out of combat and is now being targeted. You have a fallback shoot and charge for 1 CP. You've got an uppy downy. Like, what more are you asking for here? I mean, the only thing is maybe they could have like a little bit more flexibility. Obviously, you're not using this with vehicles. This is not going to be a vehicle heavy list. But you've already got a detachment for vehicles and orcs. You've technically got 2 of them. But if you want to play more infantry heavy list, and you don't want to go Green Tide, you don't want to go Bully Boys, like, this is really good. This is a really good, solid detachment. Is it S tier? Like, I think it might be. I think this might be an S tier detachment. Now, this isn't going to make orcs S tier, even with the change in the balanced data slate. They could be getting some more point cuts in the MFM that'll probably help them. But this is good, guys. This is really, really good. So I think orcs are going to be really happy with this. So that's where we are. I need to start and ready to go. So if you've joined me, thank you so much for showing up. This has been Divine Erdrick.